Hello, I'm Pastor Elaine Quincy at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Hainesport, and this brief video is welcoming you back to in-person worship. When our council approves this, this is how it will look. Before you come on Sunday, you will have made a reservation with Roseanne in the office by either phone or email. Once you get out of your car, you'll need to put your mask on and keep it on the entire time until you get back to your car. So you're going to come up here, and on the sidewalk there are some bright green crosses, and that will remind all of us to stay 6 feet apart and keep our mask on. An usher will greet you and will check you in on the reservation list. That's so we keep everyone safe. We don't go over the allowed number of people inside, and in the unlikely event that someone gets sick, we'll know how to contact others to watch for symptoms. It's all about keeping everyone, our volunteers, our members, and our staff safe. So now we're going to move to the Green Cross. So we're coming up to the Green Cross. Once again, an usher will greet us, check us in, and we'll wait to be called up to have our temperature taken. So we'll just be patient, and hopefully it won't be raining. We're ready to move on. So now we're moving forward. Other people have gone before us, and we're here just outside the doors, and we're ready to get our temperature taken. People from the parish health team will be taking our temperatures remotely with one of those little infrared gadgets. And so as long as our temperature is within normal, under 100 degrees Fahrenheit, we'll be allowed in. If by chance someone has a fever and they don't realize it, they'll be asked to return to their car. They'll be given a small bag of that day's service information and some health information about contacting your doctor because you have a fever. So once we clear this station, we'll be allowed to come inside. So now we're inside the building, and our first stop will be right here at the hand sanitizing station. We'll wash our hands with the sanitizer, and our first stop will be here at the end of the table. Place our offering in the basket. Also, if you have brought food that day for the food pantry, you'll be able to set that right over here. And then back at the end of this table are the Holy Communion packets, the individual servings. Pick up the number that you need for you or for your family group. Keep this throughout the service. Put the empty containers back into the baggie and seal it so that following worship, you can place it in the trash can by the door as you exit. As a reminder, we're going to try and keep our service, our worship, a little bit shorter. So we're going to try and limit restroom use. But if you should need to use the restroom, we're going to ask you to go all around the table where food has been placed and use the restroom just one at a time. Or if it's a young child, a parent or guardian may go with them, of course. And then once we're finished in this area, we're going to be able to move on to the door of the nave to go into worship. So now we're ready to come into worship. An usher will be here at the main doors and will open the door and allow us to come in. And once inside, there will be 2 ushers here, and one will seat you or your family group. You will be seated only in the pews marked with green tape. The other areas are not available for seating. So I remind you here, you may not be able to sit in your forever favorite spot because we're going to seat from front to back, to minimize extra passing of people to keep everyone safe. So be patient through this time until we can get back to normal and you can go back to your favorite seat. The important thing is we will be able to worship together safely. So now everyone is seated and we're ready to begin worship. The worship team and I will already be up here and seated in our places. Worship is going to look different in this time. We are not going to be able to sing together in worship. You'll be able to sing along in your head. Denise taught me that the word for that is audiate. So we'll be able to sing along in our head, but not out loud. Also, we will not be saying the creed out loud together. There's no loud unison singing or speaking inside during the pandemic. The worship will be led all from up here. There will be no exchanging of the peace between people who aren't in the same family group, but we will be able to worship together, and that's what's most important. So when worship is finished, the ushers will excuse you and dismiss you from the back to the front, so opposite of the way we all came in. And the worship leaders will stay up here until everyone else has been dismissed. We give thanks to God that even in this time we may be able to come back to worship once our council approves it. So thanks be to God that there are opportunities, even though very different. So you know what we say at St. Paul's about good things, about reminding ourselves that God has blessed us abundantly. We say, "Yay, God!" Worship is finished, and we're leaving. So I remind you, even though it might be hard, no congregating in small groups here in the narthex. You need to keep that physical distance of 6 feet as you exit the building and move to your cars. If you want to visit with friends out in the parking lot, keep that distance, keep your mask on, and take all the time you need out there, but not in here. Remember, this is about safety of everyone. So we'll just keep the flow moving so those folks in the front who were seated first aren't waiting to get out. Thank you again, and see you on Sunday.